Hi, PaolaJo from SederQuilts with a quick tip Tuesday for you. Do you have a hard time getting a scant quarter inch? I'm not a very good piecer, and so I need all the extra helpful hands I can get. And one of the things that I really like is a quarter inch foot, one that has the sidewall on it. I have a couple of different ones here. So a quarter inch foot has a sidewall so that you can always stitch at a quarter inch in it. It just keeps the fabric in there nicely and it makes it so much easier. And I have a couple of different old ones and new ones, but these new ones have kind of a sharp corner on them. My old one had a very rounded edge and my old one had a wider stitch hole in it, so it was a little less likely to break a needle. I used to use that all the time on my old machine. And the new foot, like I said, is not quite as nice as the old one. And I now have a newer machine. But there are a couple of little issues. These newer machines have much wider feed dogs. And so that old foot that I liked really well doesn't fit on here very well because it doesn't keep the fabric on the feed dogs and under the foot and everything all at the same time. So, you know me, I puzzle out different options. And one of my favorite options lately is using several business cards taped together and then taped onto the machine to help me have a sidewall of where I want the fabric to be so that I can still have my fabric on the feed dogs and I can still use a nice wide foot so it'll hold all of the, it'll still hold all of the fabric between the foot and the feed dogs, and I can put this wherever I need to help hold the side of the fabric. Now, let me show you how to figure out where you need this piece to be. If you take a plain old ordinary old-fashioned recipe card that has quarter inch spacing, this has very accurate quarter inch spacing. If you line this up with a good ruler, look at there, they're right on. So what you can do is you can cut right on the line and wherever your needle is, whichever option you have for where your needle placement actually is, if you put your needle right on the line, and I'm going to move this so that the line is right where the needle is. Okay, so now when that needle goes down, it's going to be going right through the blue line. Wherever this edge is, that's where you want the edge of your fabric to be. Now it'll be easy to keep your fabric right where you want it to be on there. Now you can see this foot is just a tad wide. It's going to be on the edge there. So I can use a different setting. I could move my needle over a little bit. See how I can move the needle there a little bit? So if I want to have this card right towards the edge of the foot so that I can run my fabric right along the edge of the foot like we used to do years ago. And by the way, do not use your fabric scissor on your paper. Use your paper scissor on your paper. But now that I have the stack of cards right where I want it and it's off the edge of the foot so I'm not fighting with that. Now if I put my card right along the edge of my stack of cards, and now if I adjust my needle so that it's going to open, I have to be in up position for it to be able to wiggle and move there. I can adjust the needle just enough. Oh, I gotta go one more click over yet. All right, so now when I have the fabric right up against the card, it's going to be stitching on that line. Ha! That's going to be a nice quarter inch. Now the other thing you have to consider for a scant quarter inch is when you When you sew two pieces of fabric together and then you fold and press everything, that little bit of thickness of fabric also takes up a little bit of space. So if you're sewing with really thin fabrics, it doesn't take up very much. But if you're sewing thicker fabrics, your scant quarter inch is going to be off a little bit because of the thickness of that seam that's in there. So you might have to play and practice a little bit to see exactly where you need your scant quarter inch to be so that your patterns match up perfectly. But anyway, this is a really good trick. So once you figure out what setting you need, especially if you have a fancy machine and you have some options, you want to write down on your card which stitch you're using, which width and length and left or right shift you're using, and write it on the card so that next time, especially if you don't sew every single day and use these same things every single day, if it's been a week or a month or a year till the next time you try to do this, you don't have to sit and figure it all out again, because I don't want to waste all this time when I want to sew. So write down the information on the card and leave it somewhere in your machine in one of these little handy dandy spots so you can find it again. I oftentimes use this quarter inch foot. It has that little sidewall, even though it has the sharp corner on there. But when I have things lined up on the proper stitch selection so that needle is going down in the center position and it's not going to hit the foot, I can see where that stitch line is going to be, and I extend it all the way down here with a piece of tape so that it's easier to line things up. If I'm going to be sewing two pieces of binding together, I want to be able to start at this corner and I want to stitch to this corner. So if my needle is down, I can bring that upper portion of the X right into my needle and I can start stitching. And then after I get a couple of stitches in there, I can adjust this down here to this line and I can see, all right, I need to keep that kind of straight, and I can stitch, and then pretty soon I can see the line that's already on the machine and I can continue stitching. And that way, even if you don't have the line drawn on your fabric, you can eyeball it. Well, actually you're lining it up with the tape and whatnot, but it makes it a little bit easier to stitch that line. Now, if I'm putting binding together where I've already cut the strips and I'm following this, then I can do basically the same thing, but I'm lining it up on this side wall as I'm going, and then I can keep that on there as well. And it's going to, again, it's going to line up nicely with this stitching line. And it's lining up with this quarter inch line of where my fabric should be, which is kind of sort of like the stack of cards here, but you can see just the line. So basically you can draw a few lines on your machine down here, or use painter's tape, and you can move that line each time so you don't have to try to remember, now which line am I trying to follow this time? Or you can move a stack of cards and tape it on here where you need to be. So if I want the edge of my fabric to be right here, you can move these different things around, whether it's painter's tape or a stack of cards. You can move your needle if you have a fancy machine that does that. But even if I'm on my old machine that had no bells and whistles, oh my goodness, I used to use this trick back then. Actually, I used to use some kind of tape, but it wasn't painter's tape back then, so it was nasty stuff to remove it. But anyway, I used to do this trick with my old machine too. And even if you don't have all those fancy feet and those fancy buttons, you can still use really good tricks like this to help you have a good guide. Yeah, and watch my videos. Toodaloo.